Hello, everybody. My name is Carrie. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is March 20th, 2020, and boy, howdy. We are just beginning the pandemic with the coronavirus, as you all know. But in case you're watching this a year from now and wonder what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, kind of crazy. Being that I work for school, I am off work. They say till the end of April, but I would actually be surprised if I go back to work before summer break. They're figuring it out day by day. We don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. So here, let me get myself set up a little better. So yeah, a little bit crazy. I'm pretty much just staying home. I get out and go out for walks with Violet, and we've had some beautiful, beautiful weather. It's been about 60 during the day, like in the afternoon. Mornings are frosty and frozen, but still dry. So fortunately, I've been able to get out, which really helps my mental state. Just to walk, be out in nature. I really needed it yesterday, and it felt good. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I am not going out, and I have to go to the grocery store as few times as possible, and I'm not hoarding toilet paper, so eventually I will run out, and hopefully by that time things have settled and gotten into people being a little more relaxed about it and not feeling like they have to have a year's supply of toilet paper. I lived in the woods for 3 weeks with limited toilet paper. I know I can live with limited toilet paper at home. So where there's a will, there's a way. Because I did my long hike back in 2014 across the state of Oregon. And because you don't want to leave little toilet paper particles all over the forest, generally what hikers do, especially if you're doing a long hike, but you use what they call a pee rag, and it can be a bandana, piece of fabric, whatever. You wipe yourself after you go to the bathroom, you hang it off your backpack, rinse it off in a creek when you get to one, do your laundry when you get to the laundry, and it all works just fine. Use the toilet paper for when you have to go number 2 and you bury that. But so if I start feeling like I'm running out of toilet paper, I can always go that route. I can do my laundry and wash my little pee rags if I have to. I don't know. I don't understand what the hoarding of toilet paper is all about, because I don't understand it, but it's happening. And so then because people are hoarding it, then there's the panic that you're never going to get it again. And fortunately, there's a toilet paper plant here in my town, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to ever run out. Anyway, yeah, just kind of hunkering in. As far as not being social, I'm not a super social person anyway, so that's not changed a whole lot. A bunch of us were supposed to meet up to knit together on Monday. Today is Friday. And we did it online. We did it virtually on Zoom. Janine set it all up, and we all connected, and it was really nice. We sat and chatted and could hold up stuff and show what we're working on, and just be able to see everybody and feel like you're somewhat together. So I'm hoping that we can do more of that as this all goes forward. Jim is still having to work. He is limiting his contact, and being really, really careful to make sure that he is washing his hands and wiping things down. We're not sure what's going to happen with his job, like if that'll still keep going. He is in the printing industry. He manufactures and supplies printing ink to printers, and a lot of his clients do print for food packaging. So there's still going to be a need there. So I'm thinking he'll continue to work. It may be on a more limited schedule, but we'll see. We're just kind of seeing what things are day by day. So meanwhile, crafting is a good mental therapy. And so, being that I do dabble in a lot of crafts, I feel like I'm pretty set. Although today I saw that they're accepting people making face masks with cotton fabric. And I thought, I have all kinds of pieces of cotton fabric from quilts and stuff. And so I have the fabric, I don't have the elastic. And so I would have to go to the store to get the elastic. And once there's a publication that like this is a thing people can do, you know, elastic's going to be hard to find. So I thought, oh, I could run to Walmart and see if they have it. And I thought, you know, I'm not going to run to Walmart. Walmart tends to feel kind of icky on a good day. And then especially when you know there's like a deadly virus out there, that's not really where I want to go. So I didn't think it was worth possibly getting the virus to help people that have the virus, if that makes any sense. So I don't have the elastic, but I do have the fabric. I looked on Amazon. I could order some, comes out of Hong Kong, could get it in May. And I thought, yeah, that's not what I want to do either. The need is right now. So I don't know. I was just starting to look this morning. I'll see what I can do. But that's a possible thing that I could do to feel like I'm helping, because that feels strange to feel helpless. So let's get on with some crafting and stuff. So it is spring, first day of spring. Oh, I got to take this phone call. Hang on real quick. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so crafty. Let's get back to what I was talking about. You notice the quilt back there on my design wall. Not exactly a springy type of a quilt, but that is a quilt that my friend Jenny designed and created, and it's going to try and propose for a pattern book or something that she gave to me to quilt. So that's my next project. It is so cute. She did such a fantastic job with all the different little elements for Halloween. So that's going to go on my long arm here while I've got the time. I just have to get myself in the right mental state to do that. Right now I'm kind of looking for mindless things, and that's going to take some concentration because it's going to be all kinds of different quilting in all the different areas. But it's very cute, and I thought I would just share that. And I'll keep you updated if she ends up writing a pattern or a pattern book or something. I'll keep you updated. So one of the things that I've been concentrating on is spinning. So you know, I've talked about it before that I am new to spinning. I have a couple of electric spinning wheels that I'm working on. My little Nano, I did upgrade the motor because the motor that came with it, you would spin for a while and then it would just stop because it would get warm. And that would be right about the time I felt like I was getting in a groove, you know, like about a half hour into it or whatever. So I upgraded the motor. It was only a $14 upgrade, put that in, and it works fantastic. So I spun up some Falkland that I had, and I think it turned out pretty good. It's okay, so what I'm seeing in my screen, this looks kind of purple, but it's more of a raspberry color. But I think I did pretty good. Something that I can see is that I probably need to put some more spin in it, more twist in it, because when you're spinning, you have it on a tension, and it looks really nice and compact and spun real tight. And then when you loosen that, it ends up, you get it pretty fluffy. But this is pretty much a fingering weight, which is good. I had a little bit left on a bobbin that I spun up, and I had some purple on there and just spun it with it. So all total, I got, this is about 380 yards, and this is about 120. So that gives me like 500 yards. If I'm calculating it right. I put it on my Swift. My Swift, when it's all the way open, is about 2 yards. And so I would count every time it went around. So it's about that. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe make a cowl or something. It's a little, you know, it's a little woolly looking. It feels pretty nice. It's Falkland, dyed by Nanette Wake. And so there's just some different variations of the pink, a little bit of purple in every once in a while. This color was Rojo, and it was really, really nice to spin. It has a nice long staple length, so it was easier for me to spin. So that was nice. Last time I talked, I had been spinning up the fiber from Mosaic Moon, and it's all plied. This is what's left. This is just gorgeous. So it had purples and grays, and then like this area of kind of a rusty brown. And I made an ear warmer headband. if that's what you want to call it. So on these mornings, sorry, a little bit of something on there. On the mornings when it's cold out and I need to wear something over my ears, I look like such an old lady, but it's really kind of cool. So I think I started looking on Ravelry and may have ended up linking to a YouTube video of somebody that showed how to do this style that you end up with this twist. And so I just knit a rectangle, and it wasn't provisionally cast on or anything, just cast on. She suggested in the video to knit it, take a measurement of your head and add 2 inches. And I thought, well, the measurement of your head, then you want to actually have negative ease so that it's like hugs your head. So I didn't want to go 2 inches more. I felt like it would be too sloppy. So I stopped at the exact measurement of my head. So it actually could be a little bit tighter, but I don't like things super tight, so it's fine. I didn't really know what weight I ended up getting because I'm a new spinner and things aren't super even. As you can see, sometimes it's really narrow and sometimes it's really fat. And so you have lots of variations from fingering weight to super bulky. So I thought, okay, whatever, something like this isn't going to really matter. And so I knit it with a size 9, I believe. And the pattern, she called it an English broken rib. I'm going to put a link to the video I followed because I can't remember who it was, but I have it in my save for laters on YouTube. So I'll put a link to it down below on this or this method of making this little twisty part. Super easy. It's just the way you fold it and then you stitch it together, turn it around, and you're good to go. So I did end up with some left over though. I wasn't sure like how much am I going to need. I don't really know. And there's actually enough to make another one. So I may make another one and give it as a gift. But I mean, it was so fun to knit with yarn that I made. There was just something different about it. And so the colors, it's kind of funny how it's striped. And like, I didn't do that on purpose. It just sort of did that. I guess the way the colors came off the skein or off the, I don't know. However that worked. That's what I ended up with. So this was Mosaic Moon. The colorway Morgan. I don't know what that means. So it's Polworth silk. So that's the make of it, or the fiber content. Let's do that. Then I somehow, because somebody posted something, found this dyer that dyes fleece, roving, wool, whatever. It's wound up fiber arts. Sorry, I'm flashing this around. I'll put a link to this and everything down below. She was having a second sale, so she would dye some wool, and either the color wasn't quite right, or she maybe couldn't get all the extra color rinsed out of it. It would never run clear or whatever. So she offered it at a discount price, and I thought, I'm willing to try new things. I did show this on Instagram, but oh, it's so pretty. The colors are so pretty. It's 100% superwash merino, which I don't know that I realized it was superwash when I ordered it, which is fine. But when I got it, I'm like, oh, the colors are pretty. And I took it out of the bag, and it is so soft. It is so incredibly soft. But there's that one. It doesn't necessarily have a name because of the fact that it's a second, but it's so superwash merino, 18.5 microns, and so the microns are how it gives you an indication of how soft things are. The other one, which I've already started spinning, so I've kind of pulled it apart, is like in fall kind of colors, and so there's orange and like magenta, some purple, little dash of green. So I started spinning that, and I am spinning that on my what is this? My electric eel 5.2. So that's what it's looking like so far. It's still connected to my fleece here. Very pretty. I had said before that using this wheel was challenging for me because the take up was so strong, and somebody suggested loosen it all the way, and I had. It was as loose as it would go, but it wasn't loose enough. And so when I did this spin to do this last little bit, I'm like, let me just try and see if I can get this to work. And I had forgotten to put this band back on, this brake band, and that's what sets your tension. It wasn't even on at all, and it worked perfectly. I'm like, okay, I need like doesn't even really need to be there. So I couldn't loosen it anymore. So what I did is you have access to the insides from here. And so in here is where the brake band comes through. I'm trying to show you. Right there goes in, and there's a knot so that it doesn't pull through. So I was able to reach in there and grab it and untie it and move the knot lower so that this band was longer. And then that gave me a way looser band, and now I'm spinning. And I'm actually spinning it pretty thin. I'm pretty happy with how that's going. So yesterday I sat and I spun. I got Violet nice and tired. We went for a nice long walk, and I've set her up so she can sit and look out the window, and so that way she's not wanting to just sit on my lap all the time or bring me her toy or whatever. She's happy looking out the window, and I sat and I spun. And I watched Frozen and watching movies on TV, and there's been some live streaming of some musicians that are live streaming. So Imagine Dragons did some, and I watched that for a while and spun, and it was good. So I'm really enjoying spinning with this merino. I mean, look at those colors. I don't know what it's going to look like when it's all applied together, but it is like a cloud. But it's super slippery because it's superwash. So there's a different feel to spinning it. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding that to be very relaxing. So I thought, even if I don't end up making something with it right now, that's very therapeutic for me right now. All right, so there has been I have been sewing, but I can't show you. So that's also something that's been taking up some of my time. But I do have a finished object. Besides my headband, that was really fun to do. I finished my Paris Toujours shawl that was part of the Fiber Hustle knit along, and I didn't get it done in time for when the knit along expired or whatever, but I did finish it, and it's nice and big and DK weight and 3 different colors that I used, and I faded in and then ended up with this pink. I don't know that I'll ever wear it. I don't know. I mean, obviously not right now because it's like turning into spring and summer, but it's awfully big and bulky because it's a DK weight, and I'm just not ever that cold. Where is it here? There we go. So I don't know. I did finish it, and I think that the beige just isn't a good color for me. The pink is better. There's not enough of the pink. So I may gift it. I don't know. But I did finish it, and it was a fun project. It was a very easy pattern. And I do like the way it turned out. And so I'm good with that, even if I don't wear it. So that one was finished. A lot of really fun people joined in on that knit along, and that was really cool. I had kind of stalled out on my boho blush shawl that I was working on. That is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I'm making it out of some cotton yarn that I got from Hobby Yarns. That is a gradient, so I'm starting to get into the darker color. I stalled out because I was off on my stitch count. I was like way off on my stitch count because I didn't increase on the edges correctly, and so I was off by like 50 stitches. So I had to take out this whole big garter section right in here and reknit that, which is a lot because it's over 400 stitches at this point, and so it takes a long time to get across. And so now I'm starting the next lace section, which is what you did down here. So I'm doing that lace section again, but now I'm doing it over 420 stitches or whatever it is, and so it takes a while, and I have to semi-concentrate, and I don't know that I've got it right. I don't know, I can't tell. And with everything that's been going on, it's been hard for me to even concentrate on that, and I just really was craving super simple. This may seem a little scattered. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was working on that boho blush, and I felt like I needed just some basic brainless stuff, and I have it in my head that I want to make that sock arm sweater that I was talking to you about last episode. And I was like, I need to see how that comes together. So I thought, I'm just going to cast it on, because you start at the bottom, so casting on like a ton of stitches, and then it's ribbing and stockinette for a while. I figure I can handle that. But I did change my color scheme just a smidge. I'm not 100% sure on my sleeves yet, because I need to get the body of the sweater done to see what that looks like. And then I'll knit a swatch with the two sleeve colors that I was talking about using. I have a feeling I'll go with the Felice, but we'll see. Because I decided to use this as my bottom color, because it's going bottom up. So starting this at the bottom, going to this, and then going to this, which has the purple and pink in it. A big contrast between these two. And I'm not 100% sure how I'm transitioning, fading, striping, not really sure. I have almost 2 skeins of this, so I could do this, kind of fade into this, and then do most of it in this. But at some point, I think I'm going to have to introduce this color, which would be then up here, which is fine. So I have to somehow fade these two in, and they're pretty high contrast, so I'm not sure how that's going to look. But with these colors, here, let's do this. So with these colors, I really do think this is a good choice for it. So, let's do that. So that's the plan. So I cast on. I'm just working on the ribbing. This is a Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I don't remember the color name. It could have even been a Seconds that I got a few years ago. But it's just a nice purple, kind of a heathered purple. So that'll go into this, which was something I dyed. And then this is Black Sheep yarn in Lovely Lilac. And this does have sparkle in it. So this would be good up here. Somehow fade into it, whatever. So that's the plan. And I'm really happy that I cast this on, because this is about where my brain's at right now. And it gives me a chance to work through. It's like I have to work through an idea when I get an idea in order for it to settle in my brain. Otherwise, it just sits there like, is that going to work? Is that going to work? I don't know. Maybe if I switch this, it's like if I have a plan and I try it out, I'm like, okay, I know that works. Then my brain can settle about it and stop obsessing over it. So that's why I started that a couple nights ago. And I just cast it. I mean, it was a long time to cast it on because it was a lot of stitches to go around my large body. But I did do a Norwegian cast on, which I think is the same as the German, and gives it a lot of stretch. The pattern calls for you to use a size 6 needle, and I did gauge swatch, and a size 4 actually gives me gauge. So normally you go down a size for the ribbing, and I didn't. I just kept it at the size 4 just to make sure it has enough room. I don't necessarily need it to cinch up around my largeness. So that's that plan. That's a long-term plan because, you know, knitting a sweater, it takes a long time. I'm not going to need it till fall at this point. I'm not going to get it done in time. I'm not going to get it done before summer, so I know I won't be needing it till fall, but then I'll be ready to go. So that that's going to be a fun one to work on. And also, Stephanie, who is Tellybean Knits, who's the designer of this pattern, is doing a spring knit along, and believe she's got a coupon code if you want to get one of her patterns for 80% off, and makes the patterns be like $1 or something, $1.50 maybe. And Violet's walking on the windowsill. I think she thinks she's a cat. Anyway, so go check her out. I think you have to use a coupon code. I can try and put that down below. I don't know when it expires, but if you want one of her patterns, this pattern is very thorough. And so I went through it, and there's measurements for all different parts of you so that you can kind of customize it. So I'm going to kind of go that route. And see, because if I can get a sweater to fit the way I want it to fit, which I haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm not a big fan of the big dropped sleeve holes, like they're practically down under my boobs before the sleeve stops, and it makes too much bulk. I already have enough bulk that I don't need my sweater to add bulk to me. So if this sweater if I can customize it, make notes, get a sweater that fits well, then I don't have to stripe the arms and all that. It can just be a good basic sweater pattern that I can kind of tweak if I want to put any kind of like pearl ridges or something in it. So that's kind of the goal with this one, is to try and come up with a good fitting sweater pattern. So being that she gives you so many different, it's a very thorough pattern, definitely worth the, $6, $7 that it is, So check that out. That's it. That was all my knitting. Crochet, I don't think I've done any crocheting. So I did purchase a couple things. I got a sweaters quantity back in the fall. I did a sample knit for Barnyard Knits because she was going to do Vogue Knitting Live in New York and wanted some samples. And so I volunteered to do a sample knit. She gave me credit at her shop, in her online store. And so I took advantage of that. And also every month she picks a color, and it's $20 for that colorway for the whole month. So for the month of February, it was Love Forever. I'm hoping this comes out as pink as it is, because when I look on the screen, it looks purple. But it is a pinky purple, lilac-y color called Love Forever. It was February's color. So I thought, well, if I get it at $20 a skein, I can get more skeins of it. And then additionally buy some more. I got a sweaters quantity. So this is DK weight. I don't know exactly the pattern. I got some good suggestions on Instagram that I'm looking into. I'm working on the sock arms sweater first, and then I'll cast this one on. So I still have time to kind of figure it out, and new designers are coming up with new patterns all the time. But you can definitely see the way my brain is going. I'm definitely going with the pinks and purples right now. So that's making me very happy. So stay tuned for what that becomes. I don't know. And then when I was watching the Chevis of Chevirel makes Chevirel stuff. Chevirel, I don't know why I can't remember the name of your podcast. I watch it as soon as it comes out. Anyway, on her previous podcast, maybe 2 podcasts ago or something, she showed this book. And so I got on Amazon and ordered it. And it is a really cool book. She was not kidding. It's cast on and bind off, and it's all different types of cast ons and bind offs and what they do, what they're good for. It's like pictures, really good pictures of whatever it is. Let's see, what is that? Like a figure 8 cast on, and so that's what it'll look like when it's knitted. And great resource. So I found this on Amazon. It wasn't super expensive, $12 or something maybe. Great addition to my library. So I was thankful for that, and check it out. I don't know if you're going to get it now, because now everything's just kind of the way our commerce is going. I know Amazon is changing how they're doing things because they're trying to get out the essentials and not non-essentials. But they don't know knitters. To us, this is essential. So that's yeah, that'll be good. I was glad to have it. So that's it for today. I hope you guys are finding what you can do and doing it and staying safe and staying in and crafting and spending time with your kids. I'm so thankful I don't have little kids at home right now. It would be a challenge because, when you're home with your kids, say during the summer or something, you can get together with your friends, go to the park, and we can't do that right now. So my heart goes out to all of you that are struggling with this. I hope that you're staying healthy and doing what you can to stay that way. I'm not going to see my parents. I'm not seeing Robert and Michael. Michael, who's my son-in-law, his dad passed away a couple of weeks ago. So that's been hard for him. They were going to have a memorial service that they had to cancel because of all of this. And so they don't get that final closure. It's kind of hanging in the air right now, and so that's hard. I have a friend whose daughter was getting married. They had to cancel the wedding. So there's just a lot of inconveniences, but we are doing what we can to distance ourselves even from the ones we love to just keep everybody safe, and I hope you're doing the same thing. So, stay safe, stay well, craft on, do what you need to do to be sane, and hopefully I will see you sooner than later, because if I get a lot more crafting done, I might have more stuff to show you. So we'll see. Because if Jim's home, I get less done for some reason. He distracts me. So far he's not home. Anyway, best to you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support you've given me and lifting me up when I needed it. I really do appreciate that. So until next time, I'll see you later.